Tyler Bondick here for the Pita Pit pregame here with head coach Shawn Nelson of the UCCS women's basketball team. Now, Coach, last week you guys went 1-1, really two close games, one against Chadron that went into overtime, and then unfortunately lost to Regis. What did your team really take away from that weekend?
I think we need to work on, focusing on detail, worrying about the little things. We made a lot of mistakes in both games that I thought really hurt ourselves. I thought both games, I thought, had we done things correctly and with a little bit more energy and effort, the outcome could have been different, especially on Saturday night. But I think it's good we were able to get to the film room and watch. I mean, it's one thing to tell them what to do, and it's another for them to actually see what they are doing wrong. And some teams are really good and they like watching film. Other teams, it doesn't do any good to watch film with them. But I think they're really receptive to it.
And really, with last weekend, we've talked a little bit about composure before. How has your team held their composure those games, especially the Chadron and the Chadron game where it went to overtime? What did you really tell your team to keep that composure?
Well, I really didn't say much in the Chadron game. We just kept trying to fight and scratch and claw and get back in that game, and then we hit a big shot at the end. But even in that game, though, at the end of regulation and at the end of overtime, we didn't execute the plays that we wanted to. So that three that Jenna hit, that was a bomb. She bailed us out, thank God. And then in Regis, we didn't play for 35 minutes, and we showed up in the last 5 minutes to play. And I don't know what the difference was or why we decided to play at that time, but we did take the lead with 33 seconds left, and we gave ourselves a chance to win that game. And with 5 minutes to go, it didn't look like we'd had any chance. But we got to get those things fixed. And I heard Kelly talking about how it's a long season, and it is. I mean, especially for the freshmen, but for everybody too. It just this time of year. There's only so many things you can do in practice, and if you don't have your fundamentals down now, or at least have a concept of what you're supposed to be doing defensively, it's probably a moot point. But I like where we're at.
And Coach, a big weekend playing Black Hills State and South Dakota Mines. First off, with Black Hills State, they're 4th in the region. You guys are 10th in the region. How big is this game?
Well, it's a big game, but I don't think we need to get caught up in all that stuff. I think everybody knows. I mean, that a win against Black Hills would be huge, and I think Black Hills knows the same thing, and so I would expect a good game. And I think whoever plays harder and gets more loose balls and gets more rebounds and those type of things, that is the team that's going to win. Whatever team made better adjustments between last game and this game is going to have an edge. I don't think it's a must-win by any stretch of the imagination, but we do have 3 games left at home, and we need to protect our home court now.
And Coach, I've already seen Black Hills State before. Jen Veal had a career game that game. What are you really expecting defensively and offensively from your team?
Well, for defensively, we need to defend better than we have the last 2 games. We've given up a lot of points, and we know exactly why we gave them up. It's just a matter of getting out there and fixing them in a game situation. Offensively, we needed to tweak some things offensively. Our spacing hasn't been very good the last couple games, so hopefully with changing the spacing and just trying to be more aggressive on offense, hopefully that will help.
And with that in practice, you guys have a lot of shooters and a lot of post players. Do you really going to try and go inside out against Black Hills State?
Well, that's what we try to do every game, is try to go inside out. I think if we go inside and establish an inside presence when the ball gets kicked out, there's bad closeouts, and we can get to the rim and we can, shoot threes and we can do all that other stuff. But we need to be aggressive when that ball does come out, and that's been one of our weaknesses this year. Is we haven't necessarily been aggressive when that ball's come out. But we talked about that, and hopefully we can see that tomorrow night.
And Coach, last question, this home weekend, a very big weekend with RMAC playoffs and standings. How do you keep your team mentally prepared for the upcoming weekends?
Well, I think if I have to keep them mentally prepared at this time of the season, then I probably have the wrong players. But I do think that these are the weeks that they want to play the most. I mean, we're in the conference tournament already. The seeding is yet to be determined, but I mean, this is when you want to play. You want to play in the tournaments. The high school, players, they want to play in the state tournaments and the regional tournaments. I mean, this is a time of year that you really want to play. So if we have a problem getting motivated to play in the last 2 weeks here, then we need to reevaluate what we're doing.
There you have it. Head coach Shawn Nelson of the UCCS women's basketball team for the Pita Pit pregame. Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Charles.